record this. Recording.
Hey,
All
what's up?
right. What's going on, Chadi? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, man. So, for those of you who don't know Chadi, he runs a YouTube channel talking all about the history of judo. And, you want to plug your channel? We'll put it on my thing and we'll cross promote.
Yeah, it's Shadi, Chadi.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very good stuff, man. I know you talked about Mifune and the origins of judo and the origins of BJJ. It was great. I'm a huge consumer of your product, so I'm very grateful, right?
yeah. Hold on.
So thank you for pumping out some great content.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for producing all the good content. I'm a huge fan of it. So if you're watching this, you guys should definitely go check it out. Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you want to talk a little bit more about the Maruyama versus Abe? We were talking about it earlier, but I think it'll be very interesting because you have a probably an interesting take on it, right?
Yeah, it's very tricky because they both have different styles, but like context-wise, first of all, I think we're living in a very, excuse my voice, I think we're living in a very interesting time to have this rivalry right now.
Yeah.
So you have Abe, who's like incredibly strong, and you have Maruyama that's like swift. So that's interesting style wise. But when it comes to context, I think Maruyama should go for this one, and Abe for Paris, like
Mm,
for the age. Like
yeah, age
Maruyama,
wise, that's right, because he tore his
Maruyama is
ACL.
like Maruyama is like 28 now, or 27. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's very old by lightweight Japan standards, right? Japan lightweights always historically tend to be sub 25. So I really want this one
yeah,
for him too. Just from a personal standpoint,
yeah,
like you were talking about though, the technique and the stylistic matchups, very, very interesting, right? I know Abe goes for that huge turning right, right? Whether it's
yeah,
Sode or Seinagi, he has a lot of right attacks. And then
yeah. He
Maruyama
has,
sort of,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
he has some. Ashiwaza, like his Ochi, is like a strong clinch also.
Yeah, yeah. He's very
Yeah,
forceful and very powerful judo style, as opposed to, like you said, Maruyama Swift. He fakes Uchimata, goes Tomonage, fakes Uchimata, goes Sumigaeshi. We have a right side versus left side situation, right?
yeah, yeah,
Man, like it really couldn't be more interesting. And these both of these guys are stars. Everyone in Japan knows these guys,
yeah,
and people,
yeah,
and they're both marketable people, right? It's not like they're
yeah,
just, they're both good looking, well spoken people. So you rooting for both, and they got like a team Abe and team Maruyama sort of thing happening. Like you remember when that vampire book came out for the teenage girls with Team Edward
yeah.
and
To Twilight.
Twilight, yes. In the United States, people were like Team Edward this, Team this, that. Like now we have straight up Team Abe and Team Maruyama in the judo world,
Yeah,
right?
but I think like, do you know Maruyama's story? Like his father,
I think I watched your video, but refresh us.
like you have his father Kenji Maruyama, who played in the Barcelona Olympics '92.
Mm.
So Maruyama, I think he did an interview for Esprit du Judo, Spirit of Judo, and he talks about he still feels unfulfilled. He hated judo as a kid. He hated his childhood.
Ooh.
Whenever he sees Abe on television, he turns it off, especially after Osaka. So he still feels like he hadn't done enough because his father went to the Olympics and he still hadn't qualified. So if
Mm.
he doesn't qualify now, it's gonna haunt him for like forever.
Yeah, it's brutal. You give everything you got, right? When you're going out there and you make it your life.
Yeah, and
These
he's
top
world
level
champion.
athletes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's amazing. You're like, oh, I won the world champ. I was the best in the world in a really tough division, but
yeah,
it's like I haven't done it. Right? It's so wild.
yeah.
And then he coming back
He
from a knee
still feel,
surgery. Yeah, it's
yeah,
you feel for him.
like,
You feel that you feel for him. And on the contrary, Abe is very young, right?
yeah,
He has a long career ahead of him. You know,
Yeah, I think Maruyama for now Maruyama deserves it better more, I believe.
mm, mm. Yeah, it's what do you think they're gonna come out and just stylistically, what do you think the strategy is gonna be for Maruyama? What do you think the strategy is gonna be for Abe?
Um, I think Abe is just clinch and go. Like he's just gonna come in. He wants to dominate the grips and just
Yeah.
hurl him over. Like, very similar to his sister.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Maruyama is gonna be, I think, more playful with his movements and then just catch him off guard. I think that's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. I don't know.
Yeah. It's tricky, right? We
Yeah,
talked a little bit about this earlier. Like Maruyama sort of is like a late starter a little bit too, and he has a lot of
yeah,
stamina and he plays a little bit early on in the rounds. Like he just kind of chills out a little bit as opposed to Abe just comes in straight out of the gate hard,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
one
yeah,
match decide it all. Not even best two out of three, one match. So it's kind of tricky, that plays kind of a role in my opinion of which way the match is going to go. I
yeah,
think Maruyama's going to want to post that hand to the front, right? He can go over the back, like going for the back, and then coming in, but you don't
he,
want to really chance that against a player like Abe.
he does it.
No,
He doesn't do that. He's always like here.
yeah, he can go over the back though. He can, right? I've seen him do that before, in some of the
Yeah,
Japanese clips. He's not going to do that though. You're right. He likes the front post, and he's going to go for that front
yeah,
post. And I think Abe going to come in and try to take that hand down, and then do the sode off that
yeah,
lapel. And I'm sure Maruyama has planned for this, right?
yeah. Of course. Like I think the moment Abe squares his feet,
Mm,
Maruyama is coming in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Whew. Yeah, it is going to be very exciting and interesting.
yeah. Forget about Newaza. There's no Newaza in that match.
Yeah. We should do some odds. What do you think the odds are? Betting odds of one of them pulling guard and forcing Newaza and going for Delahiva. No way, right? Could you
No, no,
imagine?
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Shohei Ono and Akimoto back in old
Mm.
match,
Yeah.
they did not. Both of them did not want to engage in Newaza. They wanted that ippon.
Yeah. 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 It's still like a
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that
yeah,
people want. In Japan, it's very so coveted. The beautiful. It's almost like they want to force their art in front of everybody. As opposed to
yeah,
getting down there. And
yeah,
there's some art with the submissions too. I like submissions, but
yeah,
there's nothing like
yeah,
you know doing something 10,000 times and training and making your Uchimata the best it can be, and then just going in there, boom, boom, two step, and then launching the person right
yeah. That's art. That's art.
there. It's beautiful. You have a favorite move?
Um, I don't know.
You gotta have something.
I yeah, like I'm big on Yoko Tomonage.
Oh yeah, you're a Yoko Tomonage guy.
Yeah, like especially like yours and Justin Flores. If you learn those two, like you're set.
Yeah, yeah. Justin Flores, he's got some good judo, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
such a well-rounded grappler.
yeah. Like he's so underrated.
Yeah. And I love what he did with the partnership with Keenan Cornelius, because Keenan's such a jiu-jitsu name. He's a big, big
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu name. And now
yeah,
Keenan's doing judo, and he's wearing a green
he,
belt. And
yeah,
it's pretty nice to see that, because some of the top jiu-jitsu guys are still like, bah, judo, and some of the judo
yeah,
guys have so much pride and they're like, oh, I'm not going to do BJJ. For two top guys to come together and then share their knowledge, it's only going to make them
yeah.
better, you know?
He's also a wrestler.
Yeah, Justin was a Division One wrestler. Did
Wow.
you listen to him on Chuck Jefferson's podcast?
No, is it on YouTube?
I don't know if he has it on YouTube, but Chuck Jefferson is doing this judo podcast now, and it's very good. It's very good. And Justin
Oh,
was a guest on it, and Justin talks about his childhood and his relationship with his father and how he grew up
yeah,
doing the sport. And Justin was really like one of the best in the world that's never really doesn't have the accolades, right? He's the one guy. I mean, not one guy. There's a lot of people like him who could have been an Olympian but wasn't. right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's like kind of a shame because it's like when I was growing up doing judo, watching Justin, I'm like, man, this guy's definitely going to the Olympics. He's going to go to the Olympics and medal. That was what I thought. That was what everyone thought.
yeah, yeah.
An injury here, injury there. Losing a match here, and then it's like you don't do it, and then it's like, oh man, you really feel for him. It'd be
Yeah,
the equivalent of like Joshiro not getting to the Olympics or something like that. You know,
that would be the biggest upset in history.
so you really think Joshiro is going to go?
I want him to go.
Yeah, yeah. You rooting for him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the
Yeah.
I remember the like that Tomonage from Osaka 2018. Like he
Mm.
just blew everyone's face off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Abe was world champion, and it was the final, and everyone was like, "It's gonna be Abe."
I remember that. I remember that. I
Yeah,
couldn't believe it.
yeah. That like that
Yeah,
Uchimata feint, and then finished with wow.
yeah, dude. There's something about that, right? Like, I know 28's not old, but like in Japan, lightweight it is old. If you're below 73 and you're above 25, you're almost ancient. It's very rare, right? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for him to come out and then do that against Abe, who was a superstar then, and now all
yeah,
of a
yeah,
sudden, he's grinding through, and now he's making a name for himself, and now he's on the stage. It's like, man, I really do. You're right, man. Abe could take the next one, like. But you
like
think Maruyama gonna pull it off?
that like it's so close you can't tell.
Yeah,
For
it
example,
is.
2019 Osaka, everyone thought like Maruyama was gonna take it again. Abe is like finished.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Just like on basic strategy though, like if I think about it, like if I were the coach, right? It's Inoue is the coach, right? But
yeah,
like if I, it's like Abe has one-handed attacks, and Maruyama needs that post and then needs to fight for that sleeve to do the Uchimata,
yeah,
Sumi, Tomana. He needs those two hands. And if Abe says, nope, kill the sleeve, kill the lapel, then sode, and he's coming out really hard out of the gate, and it's one match, and he's younger, and he's more physical. It might be really difficult for Maruyama, I think.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I
heard
think
through the
so too.
grapevine that Abe has been working his reverse side to the left. I heard that,
Reverse Serenage.
or like because he's primarily right side, right? He like does mostly stuff to the right side. And I
Yeah.
heard through somebody who trains in Japan who shared a mat with them, they saw Abe, doing a lot of attacks to the weak side. You know,
Huh.
uh, but it's so hard to hit it at the very high level all of a sudden out of nowhere just because you trained it in Randori. It's years
Yeah,
in the
it's
making,
possible.
right? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, so you've been working on this. You go to a Continental Open and you hit it on the first two rounds when you get like a guy that's not well known or that's not a top 100 guy, you know?
Yeah.
So without having that, I don't think you can, blast off anything new. That's just my
Mm.
opinion. And I don't know, stylistically speaking, with that one-handed attack, and I think
Yeah.
there's a slight favor to Abe. I think, which makes me want to root for Joshiro more. It's very,
Yeah, like the underdog.
yeah,
Like there are
underdog.
many that were somewhat old that did good things, like Hausinga back in the
Oh,
day.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Hausinger did
He
it.
beat he beat Iliadis. Like Iliadis was like 22. It was
Yeah.
Beijing, like the round 16, I believe. He beat him. He was like
Yeah.
34 or 35.
Whew. And then there's
Yeah.
Ungvari. Attila. The is it Ungvari? He's
How
another
old
one
is he?
he's old, man. He's up there. He's maybe late 30s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a win against him in on Judo Vision, but it's only because he didn't show up for the tournament. And it's like people like you beat Ungvari that time, right? I'm like, yeah, it says that online, but he didn't. He had a flight delayed, so then he took a
Yeah.
forfeit, and then it just showed up
Oh,
on the internet, and I'm like,
yeah.
man, no, it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't you do wrestling too?
yeah. I wrestled in college. Yeah, just as a
Yeah.
cross training. It was fun. It was a great
Oh,
time, man. It's very different. You know, I did BJJ
what do you
also.
think? Oh, Okay.
Yeah.
You have black belt?
I have a brown belt in BJJ, but it's not like a real
Wow.
training. Like I didn't go every day for years. I didn't do that. Like I went for a summer, and then I
Yeah.
trained, and then somebody I was training with it was also a black belt, and then he gave me a brown belt, and then I worked out with this
Like a
guy who's a
legit
jujitsu guy.
brown belt.
Yeah, but yeah.
Uh,
But I don't really
um,
like Newaza that
wait.
much.
Um, I like old school Newaza, like just open guard and then
Yeah,
like passing, getting to like top position or the back, not the
yeah.
new stuff. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, like the Delahivas
Um,
and the spider guards and the.
the De La Hiva is old school.
Oh, it is old school. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's been around from Kosen Judo for a very long time.
Yeah, like I think the first evidence is Tsunetane Oda doing it, and I think
That's
he's the
right.
one that came up with it.
Yeah, I think I saw your video. All right, how about this?
Yeah,
Berimbolo, that's new school.
no,
That's still not new school. There's
no,
footage of people doing berimbolos back in the day.
yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
There's Mitsuro Kimura. He was passing guard with a berimbolo, takes the back, and then goes for a
Mm,
kamishio gatame. Like he opens both lapels and
yeah,
goes for kamishio gatame. I'll send
man, I
it to you.
gotta. Yeah, send it to me, dude. I'm blown away by the database that is in your head with the judo history, man. It's crazy. I'm a little bit lacking in that area. That's what part of the reason why I like your channel so much, because I've spent so much time like doing it and then teaching it,
Yeah,
but I didn't
yeah.
really focus on the history behind it so much. So it's a big gap in my knowledge. So when I watch your channel, it's like, oh, that's I didn't know that. Like I'm constantly learning. I feel
Like
like I got yeah.
red and white belts watching my channel and learning. That's like the
Yeah,
happiest thing
no,
for me.
it's pretty cool, man. It's amazing. Thank you for
Yeah,
doing what you do, man. I love that.
it's my
I'm
pleasure.
very technique based, so having
Yeah,
that, ideas, and I love that. I'm gonna push it a little bit more on my channel. I don't know how we're
yeah.
gonna clip this and share it. I don't know, but I'll send you the video, and then you can do whatever you want with it. And I'll post
Awesome.
some clips. Like I told
Yeah,
you, I
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
any editing skills, but we could definitely do like a part one on mine, part two in yours, or something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, speaking of history, I have a question. Are you related to Katsukuma Higashi?
Katsu, probably not.
Katsukuma Higashi.
Probably
He,
not. I don't know. Maybe.
he was
We're
based
both.
in New York,
Yeah.
1906.
Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm not related
You
to him.
sure?
Probably. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because my father, yeah, came here in 1963.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because Katsukuma actually worked with, the story?
No.
He worked with Irving Hancock. So Irving Hancock, he introduced jiu-jitsu to Brazil through books
Okay.
before Sada, before Maeda, all these people.
Yeah.
He introduced it through books, and the guy demonstrating in the books is actually Katsukuma Higashi,
Interesting. Yeah, I had no clue. And he went to New
like the
York.
Ko,
Yeah.
like the I think the Kowatsu book that I shared on my channel was actually that's Higashi, like
Interesting.
the physical
Interesting.
therapy in
Yeah.
judo.
Yeah. So cool,
He's
man.
probably like he's your family. I don't know. You should. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Well, I might be related. I don't know. I guess we're all kind of related. The Japanese come from the same area, right?
Yeah,
If you trace the lineage back far enough. But yeah, man, that was it's
yeah,
interesting. I love how the history of judo in Japan and these guys, were pioneers spread globally to spread judo. And my father was part of that, right? In the
yeah.
1960s, they sent like probably like 10 judo teachers, coaches to New York, and they were all living here
Wow.
teaching judo, and a lot of them taught, thousands and thousands of students. They all still kind of teach judo. They're all in their 80s now. Some of them passed
Yeah.
away, but man, they spanned 40, 50 years of just teaching judo in the New York, New Jersey region.
Wow. Do
Pretty
you think?
amazing.
For example, your father? I hope he lives a very long life, but posthumously will be a tenth dan.
My father, I don't know. He's a ninth now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, man. Maybe another 15 years. He's 82. Hopefully he lives another 20 years.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's very bureaucratic too at the high levels of the belts, right? You
yeah.
have
Like
to, yeah,
politics, like political.
yeah, it's very political, and there's
Yeah.
something that's not good about it, but there's also something good about it too. Um,
How so?
yeah, I don't know. It's good if you're on the inside, you know what I mean? If you have like that
Yeah.
crony capitalism kind of a thing, like you're on the inside, I'm part of the club, and then you could take care of your own, right?
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
I mean, it's good in a way where it sort of keeps the you're not going to get some random dude that just played his cards right,
Yeah,
muscling
yeah,
himself way in, and then just because he knows how to fill out paperwork coming through the ranks, you know what I mean? There is a little bit because the people at the top are, really caring about the judo and the program, and that's
yeah,
just only because I know some of those people that I could say this. But
yeah,
sometimes you get that kind of a system, and you have bad people at the top. And they're playing, favorites and all this stuff. And I know Travis was on my channel talking about it.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. I
know,
heard him.
and he was very upset, I think, when they denied him for a little while.
Yeah, he
But
said that he gave a lot to judo and they denied him, basically.
yeah, but there was a lot of rules, right, and administrative stuff that you had to sort of do. You had to prove this, you have to prove that. All these different check boxes and things that people did to, right, and he didn't do it. He was like, "Hey, I'm an Olympic silver medalist. Give it to me." And some people were like, "Yes, let's give it to him. He's an Olympic silver
Yeah,
medalist." And some people were like, "No,
he,
we don't have proof that he filled out this thing, 4 years ago." So it's kind of silly, but anything bureaucratic can get kind of messy, right?
but he's out there like pushing judo every day.
Yeah, he is. He is. He is. But eventually he got it, you know. Eventually
Yeah,
he got
yeah,
it, and
yeah,
even though he's like it means nothing to me and blah 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 and disrespecting it, and but that's just his nature. He just kind of
I'm,
likes to,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. But I'm sure he's happy. I mean, he went for it, so he must be happy.
Yeah, yeah. If he really didn't care about it, why would he even bother with it? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like I got my architecture degree 2 years ago, and then I got another one in management of architecture, and I'm still like, yeah, I don't care. But deep down, it's like one of the hardest things I had to do. It's like
yeah.
9 years of studies. 9 years of studies.
Woo. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
So you
For
have a
three
master's
degrees.
degree?
Um, I have bachelor, masters, and management.
So the management, it's like an MBA.
Yeah, but for architecture, like how to handle clients, the different
Ah,
clients. You have the city that's a client, and you have the private clients,
mm,
and you need to study law and accounting.
interesting. That's great, man. Very well educated guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm also
I
a painter.
really artist.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
make judo paintings?
No, you can check my Instagram.
Oh, the one that I follow you on.
Yeah, yeah.
You have
There's
paintings on there?
paintings. Yeah,
Oh shoot, you got to make judo paintings.
yeah. I should. I was actually meaning on doing a Inoue portrait since he's my favorite.
Yeah, he's my favorite too, man. I love
He's
Inoue.
man. Like that match alone and 2005 against Yuri Ryback, that
Mm,
tells like that should maybe made a movie. Just like the ending is that
yeah,
match.
yeah, man. And he's a great person too. He's like one of the most stand-up dudes I've ever met. You know, he's I'll tell you, man. You probably seen it when he was announcing the Japanese team, the Olympic team, where he
He
got
was
choked
crying.
up. Yeah, he was crying. And most people, at the top level, they're like, these are the champions. These are my representatives. Anyone who
Yeah,
below them, they didn't deserve to go out there because they suck. They lost. They don't deserve it. These are the guys that deserve it.
yeah,
Not in a way. He's like, hey, those guys worked hard. They gave it their very best. They didn't make it. They need to be recognized. And then he got just emotional and sad. And it shows how compassionate he is. And that's not a fake. He's not
yeah,
fronted, right? He's actually truly
yeah, yeah, yeah.
believes this kind of thing. I'll tell you a funny story about Inoue.
Like
I probably told
yeah,
it on some other platform too before, but there was an American guy who was a champion
yeah,
from the U.S. and he was kind of an asshole. We go to Japan for the World Championships. I'm fighting there too. He's yelling at this person. He's trying to buy sandwiches at a convenience store, and the lady's
yeah.
like, "We don't accept American dollars. We only accept yen."
Oh,
Right? And then this guy gets mad and he's like, "What do you mean you don't accept American dollars? You know, like this is fucking American dollar, like accepted everywhere. It's like freaking Mastercard. Like, what do you mean?" And he's yelling at this woman, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the convenience store. I'm in the way back, and I hear this, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" And the woman's terrified. Like there's this big American goon freaking screaming at
And
her.
she's a small Japanese
Small
woman.
Japanese woman just doing her job. He's got the fucking finger in the face, being an asshole. And I was like, should I say something? I'm in the back. In a way, just happened to walk into the convenience store. We're right near the tournament venue. And he
Yeah.
puts his hand on the guy's shoulder. And then he just pays for the kid's sandwich with the Japanese yen.
Oh,
And then he
awesome.
apologizes
Awesome.
and bows to this lady, like, I'm so sorry on behalf of, he didn't say it, but like, I'm so sorry on behalf of my judo people. Some of these guys are dumb.
Oh,
And then he didn't say that, but he
that's
just
so
bowed,
awesome.
paid, and then walked out. And it was like the most beautiful thing. And I saw it unfold right there. Like no cameras, no nothing. He just did it. That was just who he is, what he stands for. And then people were
Wow.
in there, the Japanese people were like, was that in a way the judo champion, like the Olympic gold medalist? And people were like, yeah. And I was like, oh man, he's like my favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
like
he has a
wow.
soft spot forever in my heart. Just not even judo, but like the way he carries himself. And
Yeah,
yeah, I just love him,
like
man. He's amazing.
just the fact that he was losing like his brother, his mother, etc., and he was still going and fighting for
Yeah,
them. It's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. He's a legend.
Yeah, yeah. I
And he,
like
yeah,
he's the true representative of judo. Like he's
yeah.
just so amazing.
He is. And he changed Japanese judo, dramatically, just significantly, like redid the culture, like complete paradigm shift in the back end. Like they have the Japanese team and his predecessor were still like beat the kids, like, don't be weak, power this and that. It's very negative reinforcement, punishment sort of a system, you know?
Was Yamashita like this?
Yeah, probably. Everybody before them ran it a certain way. And it wasn't until Inoue came along, he was like, all right, we got to build these athletes from young. We have to instill a true love for the sport, right? And we have to give
Yeah,
them positive reinforcement and we have to care and be an example as a citizen because the original goal for the philosophy of judo is this, and he really truly believes it, preached it, and then changed the way coach and athletes relate to each other in Japan, which is very difficult to do, right? Because it's
yeah,
super hierarchical,
yeah. Like
right?
that's
And
what
then
Kano wanted.
yeah, yeah, amazing.
But the only thing that I don't like
Mm,
um, is that like he passed away in 38,
yeah.
and judo became available to the masses in the 50s.
Mm,
So I don't know why he never put it out for everyone, basically.
what do you
You
mean?
know, like it was a nobility practice, even worldwide.
Yeah,
After he passed away in the 50s, that it became like for the masses. So kind of like the old story. For example, you had sumo.
mm,
Sumo was like a practice among like rich wrestlers to entertain the emperor at the
mm,
court. Like it was only at the emperor's court.
yeah,
Later on, it was dropped. They no longer had interest in it. It became only for like the athletes were like part for the daimyo. He would fund them like
yeah,
sponsorships today, basically.
yeah.
So and if they win, they become samurai, and it was the art for the samurais. Later on, it became like a sport for the masses, but because of all the brawls and the fights, it became secluded only in like shrines, Shinto shrines, like the temple properties for
Yeah.
charity, and because it became secluded, that's how jujitsu became like took its rise basically on the Japanese scene.
Mm, yeah.
So it's like all arts, they start like the nobility and only for nobility. That's I don't know if he wanted it to be only for nobility, but it it raises some questions like, did he only want it for nobility, or he eventually wanted it for the masses because he only taught in nobility schools, and that was it basically.
Oh, interesting. So much history there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like the way current judo is kind of going? Not just like the way IJF is, and then the rule sets evolution, and then the Olympic scene and the IJF circuit. Do you like the way things are progressing?
Um, Ippon judo is cool. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but the thing is, whenever we come up with a rule, that technique, like for example, leg grabs, everyone like leg grabs, leg grabs, leg grabs. So the fact about leg grabs is that um, eh, when you ban something synonymously, it means thrown in the trash. Like no one uses it in exams anymore. No one, no one even thinks about it. Like even in demonstrations, nothing.
Mm,
So you only have kataguruma and nage no kata, basically.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, at least keep it in exams.
Mm,
Um, for example, well, the French Federation is now doing something really cool. For black belts, you have the Nage no Kata first three series. That's the Shodan.
yeah.
You have the first series. You have your competition points or Shiai points,
Yeah.
and you have something that's called UV2. It's basically they give you a technique, and you have to do it like your own expression. It's not like your typical exam. You just
Mm,
sleeve lapel, kuzushi, tsukuri kake. No, you have to like move around, do like a combination, and finish with it, or whatever. And morotegari, kuchiki daoshi, like the ankle picks, knee picks, are included in that exam. So you have to study them.
yeah, that's amazing. I love that. France does a really good job with this stuff. It's amazing what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, you want to make your rules, that's fine, but don't like there's a thing that I like to call technical heritage. We should not lose stuff. Like fine, not in competition, but do it in like exams or kata or I don't know,
Yeah.
or uchikomi. Like you have to do it.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree with you, man. It's a shame, the Olympic rules and all this stuff, IJF, they're there for a reason, right? To make the sport more exciting, the sport more spectator friendly. And, we're at the mercy of this organization that sort of governs all this stuff. And just because they change one rule, we shouldn't have to lose, right, the leg grabs and all this stuff. And it shouldn't just go away and disappear into the ether. You know what I mean? Only to be
Because
rediscovered, years from now, right? So
there are.
yeah, and then someone claims it as their own,
Yeah, we should
right?
thank them. Like you're gonna get those comments. Yeah, you should thank them. They're still alive.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be amazing if they did like, freestyle and Greco? They do that in judo, in wrestling. If they had a division like that in judo, right? If they have a sort of
Like yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that would be
Like I
amazing,
think I think also Kozen should be not only just for 7 universities. Like I think it should be like IJF as well.
That'd be amazing. If IJF adopted a Kosen judo division, I think a lot of BJJ guys would be flying into those divisions probably,
Uh, but I don't know if no, but I think they're gonna be a little bit conservative about it because they're gonna be like you can't just come in and take in the medals because if
Mm,
think about it, Kozen judokas are college kids like 19, 20, 21. Like
yeah.
that's not going to be like a great grappler on the ground compared to someone like Leandro Lo or Keenan Cornelius or whoever.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, they'd have to come up with a good rule set too. I don't know. Would there be like a points based system, with passing and it's just gonna be
No,
submission only?
gonna be judo. Like you can win with osaikomi.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. You can win with Osaikomi.
Wazari
Hmm.
is only granted for osaikomi.
Say that again?
Everything Wazari is only granted for osaikomi. Everything else is
Yeah.
ippon, like the choke or the armbar or
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good idea. Is that the rule sets that they play by now?
I don't know, but like what I've been reading and seeing, like there's no, like it says you win by ippon. It doesn't say only katamiwaza. So I don't know if do you throw, you can also win. But like all the tournaments I watch on YouTube, like the match starts, hikikomi immediately or pulling guard. So
Yeah.
there's no much chance to throw.
Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so
Win
if
with
I
tamiwaza,
so if someone pulls
that's my
guard
opinion.
and if you pin them, if you pass their guard and you pin them, you get a wazari, right?
No, 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 no. I mean, like if you escape the wazari,
Mhm.
like if I'm sorry, you escape the osaikomi before the 20 seconds, that's wazari. You continue. Maybe you can get another pin for 10 seconds, and that's ippon. Or if the time ends, that you
Yeah.
win,
Mm.
just straight ippon.
I'm not too crazy about the Osaikomi Wazari Ippon Osaikomi Wazari because you could there's so much submissions you can do.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying there's no submissions. Of course, you can do Juji, Okuri, all these stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in terms of osaikomi, if you escape after 10 seconds, you score.
Mm.
But
Wait, the
everything,
person pinning scores, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I was about to say. So if you can you win by two Wazaris? Two Wazari Ippon? Yeah.
The match ends and you have a Wazari, obviously you win.
Mm.
And I don't know, you want to keep it a team format because now Kosen Judo is only team format.
Oh, is that right? Interesting.
20, you have 5 replacements, one captain, one vice captain.
Mm.
The match is 6 minutes, I believe, but the captain and vice captains, when they play, it's 8 minutes.
Mm.
Travis would like that.
You like this freestyle judo stuff? Have you seen any of this?
I've seen some like not high quality footage on YouTube, but I think like they also do no gi with only,
With only yeah.
but it could be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to come up with a new rule set for the IJF to adopt another division. So we have the current judo classic IJF judo division, and then we need a Kosen judo division. You have to score for the takedown though, right? You have to score the takedown.
I don't know. Let's keep it judo. I don't know.
Mm,
Like maybe a throw is a wazari also.
okay. Can you go for leg grabs in this new rule set? Yes, you have to. Right. We'll throw that back in there. Right.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think? Like, if you want to bring back leg grabs in IGF, how do you do it? Like, I know everyone proposes a theory, but the point is to keep them, preserve them. So, what do you suggest? I heard Travis say that you can do it, but no score, but you can engage in Newaza or something like that.
Oh, if IJF were to bring leg grabs back to the rules now of throwing leg grabs in there,
Do you do it? How would you do it? Like, only in golden score, or I don't know.
that's very interesting. I had this weird idea. This is very weird, and this is not even feasible. It's just a crazy idea that I think about.
Yeah.
You could go for a leg grab once in a match. That's it.
Yeah. Why not?
It's stupid, right? I know, but it's like it's something I think about. That way, if you go for your leg grab once early on in the match, it's over. You can't shoot it on the legs anymore. So then you could go back to your stand-up judo and then stick the leg out and go do classic judo because that's what they want to promote, right? The classic judo. They don't want two guys in a wrestling stance with their legs far away and doing the. They don't want that. So if
I
you
think,
allow one
yeah.
shot anytime in the match, you go for it, and then it ticks off a box. Like it kind of makes it a fun thing. But then it's like not a real. It's like a weird rule
Sorry.
that it's like it just becomes like this funny thing of like, okay, if you could do that, then why not these other crazy weird rules? So I don't know. It's just something I think about. Could you imagine though? Like you don't know if the other person like it's just any given time they could go for a massive kataguruma. You know, like I feel like that's really fun.
I think to eliminate the wrestling stance and really promote kumikata, the easiest thing to do is that um, first of all you have to have both your hands like kumikata engaged. You like open up You remember like the old kataguruma, you see them like open up and then go down, but they leave their hand like up.
Yeah.
So you go down one hand at a time.
Oh, one hand at a time. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that's good. One hand on the gi before you could even shoot. You can't just shoot in and dive at the legs. You
No,
can't do that.
no,
Right? That's a good
no.
rule.
Promote
Yeah.
good techniques when it comes to leg grabbing, and it's going to be hard to execute.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But yeah,
You're going to
when you
choke
can
you,
shoot,
sankaku.
yeah. But yeah, if you can shoot it on the legs, naturally your legs go back naturally, right? It just, yeah. So
You can shoot in golden score only.
shoot and go. Oh, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. Yeah. Actually, I like that. I like that a lot. Man,
It's
so
do
many
or die.
cool.
That's golden score. It's do or die, basically.
Yeah. What about Newaza? How would you change Newaza rule sets for judo?
I like them the way they are right now, honestly.
Yeah. You know what I like?
Maybe add back the straight ankle lock. Maybe.
Mm, Yeah, that'll definitely make it a little bit
The-
more.
and it doesn't tear ligaments like the straight ankle lock. It's
It's true. It's true.
IBJJF, no reaping, straight ankle lock for like from white to like brown belt. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
Only straight ankle locks because it will allow them to first attack the legs and
Yeah.
to defend.
Yeah. You know what's an inadvertent rule that makes Newaza better? Is if you go for drop Sanagi and you're on your stomach and you're still standing, now you could pick him up and throw him.
2012, like 2010 to 2012.
What's that?
I I uh, I understood wrongly. Yeah, like there's this uchimata you can do when they're on their knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So now, if you miss a throw and you're just standing on the ground like this, there's a risk of you getting picked up and dumped, right?
Nico Sharadashvili,
Yes.
he
Yeah,
did
he
it
did
in
that. Yeah.
yeah.
So if that's a risk, now you miss a throw, you're on your stomach. Now you sort of have to go to your back and then pull guard almost, right? Because now there is no risk of you getting picked up and dumped. And now you're engaging in Newaza, the top person's trying to pass, right? And then the negative judo and stand up, if you're going away from the technique by cutting and going away, you get penalized, right? I think if you got the same Shido in Newaza, where if you're constantly just trying to defend and you're not going for anything to improve position, maybe give him a penalty for negative Newaza, right?
And like self defense wise, turtle is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, it's the worst. Yeah, you get kicked in the head. Yeah,
Or like if it's anywhere else, like MMA or BJJ, like that's it, you're finished.
yeah, yeah. And then if you could go into a rolling knee bar, though. All right, so now straight ankle, and now we got to throw knee bars in there. Straight knee bars, those are
I
kind of
think
safe.
knee bar, like that's gonna crush your knee. I don't know.
The heel hooks are dangerous because you're twisting them. But the knee bar, it's straight
I
hinge joint. It's no different than attacking a juji, right?
think I think the outside heel hook is somewhat safe because it like you have to have the ligaments of the ankles popped first before the knee.
Mm, mm. They're all dangerous.
Heel, heel hook dayashi is illegal. That's like kawazugake basically.
Kinda. Is it illegal?
Kawazugake is illegal. Yeah, it's
Oh,
in the Kinshu.
Kawazugake, yeah, is illegal. But it's kind of not, though, right? I mean, if you rotate it from Ouchi and hook the leg and then go, I think that's illegal. But from the outside to pull the heel out, I mean, I still see it in competition.
Yeah. Like some
Yeah.
people get away with it. It's weird.
Yeah, I know a guy who broke his leg, receiving that technique. It's very dangerous stuff. All
Yeah,
of it
like
is dangerous, though.
heel hook dayashi is definitely illegal.
Yeah. And judo, dangerous, period. Right?
Yeah,
But yeah, that's interesting ideas, man. I like these ideas. Very cool.
shooting in golden score is because it's like literally life or death. That's golden score.
Yeah. Then you'd have to start training leg grabs again. Right? All right. So we came up with an entire new rule set. We should send this video to IJF and see what happens. It's like, hey, Marius, we just came up with this thing, me and Chadi.
I'm sure they get that all the time.
100%, 100%.
I mean, then let's talk by, like, for example, Neil Adams. He's one of the people that bend it. So he says that um, if it should come back, it should come from skill and having an upward trajectory. So when I said like one hand at the time, first of all, it's going to promote good technique, kuzushi, tsukuri, and kake. You're
Yeah.
displaying judo. You're not displaying wrestling and shooting. You're displaying judo. That's one. You're eliminating the wrestler stance. You're engaging in more kumikata, and also when you like go down one hand at a time, you have to pick up. So that's upward trajectory. So I don't know why not.
Yeah, I like that too. Upward trajectory, that's nice. That way you can't just grab a leg and then just run them over, which is nice too, you know. But if you could lift them, then you
Rotegari,
could really demonstrate control, right?
but Morotegari is like you don't lift them up, you reap towards you. Morotegari.
Yeah, originally, yeah, but you can, get your hips on there and then elevate them first, and then you could, right, or cut the legs
But
and
that's
clear
the
them.
thing. Here, I'm going to play a little bit of semantics, but I was watching this old Kodokan video. They were just demonstrating Sukuinage. So
Mm,
they first showed the Teguruma variation,
yeah,
and then they show like a high lift double leg, and they say like this woman, she was narrating with like a very obvious Japanese accent. She was like, this is not morotegari. Morotegari, you reap towards you. This is lifting upwards, scooping upwards. So that's technically sukuinage.
mm, yeah, that's an interesting point. Interesting point.
Sukuinage is so versatile. You have like the basic form where you like take
Yeah,
the like you go from behind and you just throw behind
yeah,
you. You have the teguruma and the like the kaishiwaza, basically, and like the high lift double leg. That's awesome. But that's
beautiful,
all
man.
one technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squinage though, that's or the Tegaroom is like that's right. Boom, and then you get your hips up and elevate, then you rotate. It's like it's huge, man. It's so beautiful. It's a shame that that's not part of judo right now. It's a fucking shame. Very
It
shame.
it it can put you in jail easily.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I knew a guy. We used to me and this buddy of mine, Victor Jean Baptiste. We used to bounce at a nightclub in Brooklyn when I was in my early 20s, and then we would get into it. And then he would do that. He would go in Teguruma and like catch their collar, lift them. He wouldn't like slam him onto the floor, but sometimes he would. He would make sure that they go legs first. He would head wouldn't go first, and that was his thing. And he would like do it
It,
every
it
weekend. It was
it
awesome.
really demonstrates control.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Man, that's interesting stuff, man. If somebody's watching from the IJF, right? Imagine.
Imagine. Like I
Yeah,
think I think it's gonna come back because if Neil Adams is discussing it, and a lot of people are, like it's the constant talk, leg grabs, leg grabs, leg grabs. Like
yeah,
just don't shoot. Basically, engage from kumikata, and it will be fine.
yeah. It's interesting thing, right?
Shooting
Wrestling.
golden score. That's it.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
yeah, yeah. Maybe not. Yeah, you can't shoot from far away. Wrestling you kind of can because you can go through the arms, right? You chop the arms, you can go down. But in judo, when someone grips you up, then it's very difficult to go. So
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
shoot from like way out here before they could even link up. That's why you have these like diving leg grabs. And if you take out of that, right, and then we do what you said from kumikata, I think that could be
I'm,
very interesting.
yeah. Like I saw once, there's this highlight channel, Grappler Kingdom. Like does great highlights. He did one, he or she, I don't know. He did once um, a like something lost techniques of judo. He was showing the leg grabs. There was this one double leg. I'm 100% sure it doesn't work in wrestling. It's the woman like hunches over like a rounded back.
Yeah,
It's terrible, and she grabs the pants and lifts up and slams. Like that would not work in any other context.
yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Or no kumikata, nothing. She just hunches over, grabs the legs, and she just drives forward and lifts a little bit. It's terrible. So, but like if it's from kumikata, you like you open up and then go down like on one knee or something. That's gonna create a good technique.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, man. So much there, right? Hopefully they go in the another direction, and yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see what the judo evolves into, especially from here with BJJ nipping at the heels, and leg grab's been out of the game for almost a decade now, right? It's interesting to see. We're at an interesting juncture, right? I mean, judo's kind of picking up, I guess, in popularity across the globe, but jujitsu really is doing this guy. And I know in Europe, they're really picking up. So, judo has to make moves now or we're going to get overtaken, as we have already in the United States.
Um, it's like it's a shame that you had this thing not long ago and no one knows about it. Like the stuff I saw in like the old Newaza doing
Yeah.
lassos, De La Hiva,
Yeah.
60s. It's like you're watching modern day IBJJF, and people just don't know about it because, like, oh, I don't want that, I don't favor that, because
Yeah.
there's this mentality that it's banned, it means it's gone. That's not how it should be.
Yeah. Also now too with the internet, everything you put online is like forever out there too. So it's I guess it's a different time. Back in the day, somebody might have been doing this amazing lasso guard situation, but maybe they just didn't get the exposure. You take what the champions do, and then that works, right? This guy does a Soto, it works. This guy does worm guard, it doesn't really work. He does it, his dojo does it, but no one really sees it because that guy's not a champ. Okay, push that out to the side. It doesn't get documented on the internet. No one really good tries it, and then it just kind of it's there, but it doesn't evolve, right? So yeah, you're right, man. It's kind of unfortunate, but you know,
My part.
yeah, you're doing your part, man. Putting the videos out there, and it's great. Thank you for you doing what you do. You know,
For your
yeah,
tutorials.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for watching, man. Greatly appreciate it. All right, I gotta get going because I gotta pick up my kid from school because it's like 11. But I will record this, clip it. I'll send it out to you, and then we'll figure out a way to put it on both of our channels so people can view it. And
Yeah,
then, I'm gonna send a message to my viewers. Chadi has an amazing channel, right? Talking about history, lots of great ideas in judo and the history. So go check it out. And yeah, you have any closing remarks?
for my voice, and like we can put like clips, for example, the Maruyama Abe and the leg grabs,
Yeah,
Newaza, like can do many, we can clip it like for many things.
for sure. I have no editing skills, so you're gonna have to do that. I'm sorry.
Or, yeah, don't worry, I can do that.
Yeah. It'd be kind of cool if you could put like a little video of Maruyama throwing, or I don't know what the rules are with IJF copyright and stuff.
Like, yeah, it's this past summer they went on like a rampage of copyright claims,
Yeah,
and everyone
yeah,
got one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I know I did one time. I did like a match analysis, and it dinged me, and I was like, "Ooh, it's kind of scary when you have a copyright claim against you. It's not a strike, but it's a claim, and you're like, right? You don't really know what to do with it, especially right.
viewed it. If you're commenting, they usually remove it.
Yeah. Oof. Wild times.
Like highlight channels, they can't do that because they're not offering anything. Like,
Yeah.
okay, they're cutting it up, they're putting highlights, etc., which is like a lot, which is good job. It's promoting sport, but they
Yeah.
themselves are not. They're not like educating or saying anything. So if they dispute it, their case is a bit weak.
Mm, true. 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 Makes sense. Well, thank you,
Complicated.
Chadi. It was very nice finally putting a face to this, right? I've known you who you were, and then we've been chatting on Instagram. We're on it, and then let's do this again. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from you. So thank you, man. Thank you.
For me to know that you're learning. So from me, actually. So let's do a live stream maybe sometime later on your
Love it.
channel.
Sounds good, man. Sounds
Yes,
good. All right.
awesome.
Have a good
Maybe
one.
I'll have a good voice.
Yeah, for sure. Take care, man. Feel
All right.
better. All right.
You
Bye.
too. Thank you. Bye.